Hello, boys, girls, and MBs. Welcome back to the stream. We're going to be talking about some internet dramas. You can see from the title, we got the Fell in Love with My Psychiatrist. And let me tell you, I've got some insane thoughts on that because I didn't exactly catch the story as soon as it came out. I caught it like a day after. And thought it was like the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life. So I wanted to share what I thought about that because wow, is that fucking insane. I mean, you got the whole freaking thing right here. And that one of the things I want to get into is like how she arrived there, because her content wasn't that before it, but it like quickly went into all that as soon as this popped off. Girl's collecting her ad rev. She made a quick penny on this. But I think it's a very interesting situation. So don't worry, chat. Don't worry. We shall get into that. Blender, hello. Also, a freaking parasocial update. We'll get into that in a second, too, because I turned 30 recently. And my fresh 30-year-old self forgot to put on sunscreen, clearly. I'm red as a tomato. So I look like I'm cooked. That's just lovely. But also in the interim, we have a sheep running around Chicago. I'm not gonna play the music, but this guy tried to catch a sheep with a whole net. How you doing, by the way, Blender? How you doing? Look at this. Bro had a net to try to catch a sheep. I cannot believe this. Look at this. Fellow white person problem, the sun is evil. Yep. That sheep got away quick as hell, dog. And let me tell you, this is like the hottest topic in Chicago right now. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I've had better days, but I'm doing all right. All right will suffice. We'll get there. I think sometimes when I don't stream and don't make videos on the internet, I start to feel less and less like myself, if you know what I mean. Maybe you can't relate if you don't create content, but someone that, like, as someone that creates content, when I find myself in these realms of doing everything else but making my own content, I start to feel a little sad because it's something that, like, I'll give you another example of this. Let's say you're someone that loves playing basketball. Basketball is everything you've ever thought about. But then life comes in the way and you do everything but play basketball. You're going to feel a little bit less like yourself because you're not playing basketball. That's kind of how I feel, except with streaming right now. So that's why I said I've had better days, because I've streamed more often in the past and I've made more videos in the past. So in light of that, I'm going to feel like myself again. I'm going to stream tonight. Take a little break from editing, because boy oh boy does that, my mental health goes bloop, straight downhill after I edit too much. And then I'm also going to make a TikTok tomorrow morning. I think we'll feel okay again. So we're getting there. We're getting there one baby step at a time. Maybe these videos will help. We're gonna watch some this is like the hot topic in Chicago right now. This fucking sheep. We'll watch him stuff. Also, I wanted to play this clip. I see a lot of like, it's like Valkyrie just talking about her life for a quick 30 seconds, just getting ripped apart on the internet when I don't even think it's that bad. So we'll get into that a little bit. Also, this I almost said streamer. This pilot apparently was like forced into making a donation because of a flight route that he took, which we talked about this pilot before on stream. But yeah, there's like an update to this. This was the guy that like illegally flew and landed in Antarctica, but I guess I'll just say it now real quickly. He got fined $30,000 for illegal landing, but he's not going to end up facing charges because he was forced to donate. And I guess they let him let him loose, because look at this right here. He even responded. He's like, could you not mention this in the main tweet? Because in the main tweet they wrote, he must pay $30,000 after illegally landing. He was detained for 6 weeks while trying to fly solo all 7 continents to raise $1 million for cancer research. Kind of did him dirty, but yeah, the charges were dropped, so that's the update to that. We might, if we have time. I don't know if we'll have time because the psychiatrist thing is so fucking bonkers. Blender, did you see that? The psychiatrist thing? Let me know. I'm curious. Even other chatters that might be in here right now, let me know. 1 in chat if you've seen it, 2 no. Another thing we might get to, I love Tiffany Ferg's channel. Easily one of my favorite channels to watch, for sure. 2 no. Interesting. Cool. Good shit. Good shit. We'll get into it then. She makes really good, like, internet analysis videos. And always never ceases to amaze me with which topics. This is the boomerification of Gen Z. So if we have time, maybe we'll get into that. Because let me tell you, chat. Let me tell you something. I sound like XQC. Chat. I sound like XQC. Jesus Christ. Take some break from streaming and I turn into XQC. Except I probably talk 10 times slower than he does. And I'm not doing... Except the problem is I'm not doing any gambling. I'm losing my voice instead. On Discord, I should ping everyone about... Oh, I should ping at everyone. You are right. Alright. Quick little announcement. Here in this community, we have a Discord. If anyone want to join the Discord, the link is down in the bio. If you want to be tuned in to whenever streams happen. If you would like to get recipe ideas, if you'd like to suggest different game nights, you can do that. If you need advice, you can put that here. For anyone that wants to help anyone else out and answer those questions, and or if it's something I feel like I can answer, I will be happy to answer in there. If you have any things that you like doing, any artwork, things of that nature you want to share, you can share it here. General, you want to have some general fun? Like share photos of your cat? Like one of my chatters in this community did? You can do that and share your cute cat photos. All is welcome here. But for now, we're going to go into stream announcements and at everyone. Stream is live. Hop in. And we're going to link everybody to it as well. And once we do that, we'll get on the hop. We'll get on the frickin' hop, you know? Okay. Everyone, boom. All right, we're live and alive, chat. I also blasted off on Twitter already, so we're chilling on that front. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the drama. Mr. Beast faces off against snakes. What's this?
Some deers are bigger than me.
Look, I'd say so. And don't worry, I'll hear you yell for help.
I don't even want to look.
Oh, his face too close.
Why is it moving?
Better chance you'll see notification. Hell yeah, thank you, Blender. You're the GOAT. Appreciate it.
Moving just
oh, that's so...
Yo! Dog, I'm gonna be real right now. Snakes are very cute, yes. The colors and the like, not designs, but like their skin. It's fucking wild looking, but I did this when I was little, where they like put snakes like on your abdomen pretty much, and they like lay one on your lap. Oh my god, I still have like PTSD from that as a kid. Anytime like a little bug crawls on me, I'm convinced it's one of these giant snakes that's getting ready to kill me. Because let me tell you, this is a frightening experience if you're not someone that's privy to little things crawling on you.
Hey, Cheeser. My camera guy got scared.
Hold on.
Hey, make sure you get a good shot. Get it where the snakes live.
Aw, cheese. So cute. Oh my
Make sure you get a good shot.
Here we go.
Oh. Whoa.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
All right, just take it easy.
What if it just like...
Mr. Beast, I'm sorry to say this. I'm so sorry to say this, but I have to say it because everybody says it. Even my normie friends that know who Mr. Beast is says this. Mr. Beast has the most dead eyes, like, ever. It looks like there's nobody behind those eyes. But when he has a snake on him, those eyes come a little alive. I'm sorry. It had to be said. I'm sorry. I know it's a little mean. It had to be said. I had to say it. That's the meanest I'll get on stream. I was thinking it. No more being mean. Let's watch some sheep videos. Let's watch the sheep. So look at this. This shit is on the loose. This girl, wait, look at this. This girl said, here.
Lunch break. Let's go try to find it. Apparently there's just a sheep roaming around Chicago. I'm on my lunch break. Let's go try to find it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys see that? The snake, this sheep. What's up with animals? Is this Elvea? I am Elvea Sanctuary. This sheep, this poor sheep, is what I'm showing this, literally has blood on its back. It's okay. Okay, if I open up my window right now and shoved my mic out the window, you would be in like cicada sound ASMR. The cicadas are live and alive in my neighborhood. I am not even kidding. But the cicadas are going absolutely bonkers mode. But look at the blood on the back of the sheep. Everyone was... Okay, I texted this video to some people, and a lot of my friends were worried it was going to get, like, chopped up in the butcher market, you know? I'm so sick of cicadas. Like, shut up. Dude, that is the cutest sheep. I'm sorry. Sheep are cute. I said it. I said it. Sheep are cute.
Nothing beats one of these. We got millions, included.
Okay, wait. What happened? Oh. That's what I meant to-
You definitely can't park there, bud.
Yep. That's
Look
a
at
big
this
old
poor
sheep
thing.
That was spotted.
Look at this poor thing just out in the
Just
middle of the
wandering around the
street.
Fulton Market District, right near Kenzie and Green Street. Witnesses say animal control.
I will have you know this. I will have you know this. If you go to the comments on her videos, where did it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh my God. There's a couple different sheep going around Chicago. However, some very kind person DM'd me, and the sheep is getting rehomed to a farm. He lives to see the rest of his days in an open field. Sheep is good. This is the hot topic around town. Next small topic before we get into fell in love with Psychiatrist. Valkyrie. This clip is just getting smeared all over by everybody. First, we have to do one of these. We gotta do one of these. It's been a minute. It's been a frickin' minute. Let's do it. I need to do that. We're drinking Waterloo. My favorite sparkling water. Waterloo. Tropical fruit. I don't know if it'll focus. Come on, focus, buddy. Tropical fruit. Waterloo. This stuff is very good. Oh boy, is it good. Let's watch this Valkyrie clip. I'll see what's cracking in the world of the swagapinos.
I've gotten over it. I'm probably never having kids. It is what it is. I'm probably gonna play video games for the rest of my life. I'm probably gonna be...
Oh my God. She's gonna get... This is such a classic thing. Women getting ass blasted on the internet the moment they're like, I'm not having kids. You wonder why people shut the fuck up on the internet and don't say anything. It's because this kind of thing will happen. I saw Keemstar sharing this around already.
as hot for as long as I can. And I'm probably gonna keep making money in the
Let's
best
go.
ways I can, which is like doing commercials and shows. Like that's probably what's gonna happen for the next like 40 years until I die.
Why is she saying the one thing, the 40 years till I die is crazy?
And I think people are just gonna keep being mad at me about it. It is what it is. I don't know, man.
She's allowed to make her own decisions, you know? Not having kids is not a controversial thing. I'm gonna give money away. Let's see what the comments are. This might be a hot take, but it's low-key selfish to not have kids. Rich with no children, a pointless life. It's not ideal for society. What's not ideal? What's up, Wi-Fi? How you doing? Seems like solid life goals. Yeah. Wait, I actually want to entertain that real quick. You said It's not ideal for society. Explain. I like genuinely want to hear another opinion on this. I'm doing good. I'm doing, like I said earlier, I've had better days. We're getting there. One stream at a time. I miss streaming. I missed looking at dumbass internet shit like I'm doing right now. I turned 30 recently, and I realized something about my ripe old age of 30. It seems like I can't operate without vitamins. Like, I need my energy vitamin in the morning, I need my multivit, I need my vitamin D. Like, I need all these vitamins to feel normal. I've realized. Family is the backbone of a country is the easiest I can explain. I was talking about this with somebody in depth tonight, actually. You can still have a family without having kids. Because I was telling someone tonight how I, like, don't want to have kids when I get older. And then, I forget what this person said, but then I was like, but then they were like, yeah, you can still have a family if you don't have kids. There's other ways. There's 7 billion people on the planet. I don't think human population is lacking. Yeah, that's the other part of this. We can't ask, but is it ideal for society? Here's the thing. Here's my counter argument to that. I don't give a fuck what society wants from me. I really don't. If I try to keep up with society, what's that called? Is it called, like, what do they call that? Keeping up with the, oh God, I don't want to say this wrong and then get ass blasted. Let me look it up real quick. I think this is what this sentiment is called. Okay, keeping up with the Joneses. I thought that meant something else for a second. I don't think you have to, like, follow the, like, keeping up with the Joneses situation, you know? Like, our world sucks ass. We live in a terrible frickin'... America's getting worse and worse each day. I'll be honest. I'm going to be 100% with you, chatter. On an individual level, it's okay, I agree, but as a society, it's not ideal. I just run off and be a witch in the woods. Hey, it's your life. You gotta live your best life. I would do that too. In individual level, I agree, but society. Here's the thing. And I'm not trying to, like, I'm not trying to, like, fight you on this. Like, everyone has their own opinion on it, right? And I think everyone can have their own opinion. I think there's, like, a boundary to be had for sure. If, like, you're with somebody and you end up in that, like, I want to have kids and they don't want to have kids predicament, it's not great. So I think that's something you should always settle with somebody ahead of time. That streamer Sandwich I talk about from time to time, she's talked about her situation very publicly on the internet where she was once in that and then realized and then had to, like, cut things off with someone as a result, which is, like, kind of like a rough situation to get into, you know? But having said that, I think society, you shouldn't have to feel like you need to live up to society. Plus, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't want to, like, show a kid what's happening in our world right now, if I'm being totally honest. I really would feel a ton of shame showing a kid this terrible world we're living in right now. Until things are looking a little better, then maybe I'd feel more confidence in that. But it takes, let me say this, it takes money. It takes more money than having a house to have a kid. It takes time. It takes commitment. It takes just about your entire life out of you. So I know people that have kids right now that are, like, kind of, like, wishing they spent more time, like, living on their own before having kids because it consumes their entire life. And to each their own, you know, if you want to have kids and that's, like, the way you want to track your life because that's the way that society's brought you upon this world, then hey, you know what? Go off. But I do find it interesting when someone like Valkyrie is getting ass blasted on the internet for this. Rich with no children, pointless life. On everything that's depressing as fuck. I like how Tectone is mad about this. Tectone of all people is mad about this. That's awesome, dude. God. Go do something else, Tectone, please. Why do men get angry when women say they don't want kids? Yes. This is my entire point right here. All women get baby crazy around 30, then by then it's often too late, and she's gonna have one of those alcoholic cat ladies who's depressed and suicidal. This is what I mean. You're not allowed to be a woman on the internet and say you don't want kids. You will get ass blasted. It's just the unfortunate reality. As a guy, you can say you don't want to have kids, similar to how I just didn't, and then nobody ass blasted me. You didn't see Blender in here chirping away at me, or Wi-Fi, you weren't in here chirping at me for it. Nobody chirps at a dude for saying that online. It's the women are targeted for this. It's fucked up, dude. It's not great. But shall we move on? Shall we move on to what you guys came here for? Shall we? One, if you're ready. Should we do this? Wi-Fi, Blender. Okay, Blender said no. Wi-Fi, have you seen the latest drama happening on the internet? Have you seen this? Oh, you haven't. Okay. Here we go. So. Alrighty. This is the fell in love with my psychiatrist girl. I'm going to say something right now. This is not just me to you telling you that this story is like a big story. This has actually made waves on the internet. Like, a full-on fucking AOL.com is writing articles about this. People.com is talking about this. The tab. The cut. Like, look at this. This is making the rounds, dog. So, this is like quite a big deal on the internet right now. So, we'll get into as much of it as we can. But one thing that nobody's talking about that I wanted to specifically talk about here is how she arrived here, because while we're watching the story, we're like, who the hell is this girl, right? And then we just keep getting more critical of her as it goes on. But before we get, I gotta see like what did she do? How did she arrive here? And when I look back at her content, how old is she? Yeah, that's another awesome question. I don't know. We might even get to that throughout the video. I would assume somewhere in the 20 to 30 age group, you know? I would assume she's somewhere in there. But she talks about ADHD. To my understanding, she's like an ADHD coach. So, like, she has videos like this that are informing.
If you have ADHD, it means that your brain lacks dopamine. And because it lacks dopamine, it is always looking for sources of it. Whether it's scrolling on Reels or eating. But my thing is starting a new relationship. There is no better source of dopamine than starting a new relationship. You know what that means? That means that we are susceptible as ADHDers to love bombing. Be cautious when
Uh-oh. Scary stuff. So she talks about like ADHD stuff. She's like talking about like ADHD.
Did you know that as an ADHDer, you are most likely setting boundaries wrong? Here's an example of what's not a boundary.
Okay, so you get the point. You get the point of what she's kind of like doing. It also appears to me that before she did any of this, she's like doing like food videos, I think. Or like store videos or something like that. I don't fucking know. Like Costco must-haves. She's making like, she used to make like store videos, then out of nowhere, she kind of just like,
things I let
my ADHD win, making more ADHD videos. And then something changed here. Do you ever feel like you're too much? And then boom. Here's the original video, I'm pretty sure.
I fell in love with my psychiatrist, and he knew that, and he kept me for years as a patient until I was brave enough to leave him. I want to talk about it. Usually when I go on this app and I have a question,
Oh, God, dude, TikTok is so busted. TikTok is so busted on the desktop.
App, and I have a question.
I have a bunch of videos that pop up, and I searched "in love with my psychiatrist" and nothing happened. So I would really like to discuss what happens when we fall in love with our mental health professionals, and most importantly, the fact that there are so many people, especially men, that are emotionally dead inside, that feel called to going into
Yeah, this is crazy. This feels like a self-fulfilled prophecy, I think is the right terminology for that. Where it's like something she made up in her head. At least, I'll say this. On the surface, that's how it sounds to me right now. But we're going to get through more. This isn't just the video. There's like a litany of different videos. We'll get into it.
psychiatry and therapy, so they don't have to feel their feelings, but they can feed off of the vulnerability of their mostly female patients.
Can we run that back
Men
again?
that are importantly, the fact that there are so many people, especially men, that are emotionally
She's sounding stalkerish. I know, and it comes off that way. We're gonna get it.
Yes, I
So
told
look at this. Look, how did he know that? Did you tell him the story of being in love with my psychiatrist?
him often that I had a crush on him, told him all the time. I felt yes,
Oh,
I
so
told
so she confirms that I was right. Look,
Yes, I told him often that I had a crush on him, told him all the time that I thought he was attractive, and he just would smile and not say anything because he was the king.
he would smile and not say anything. I wonder why. Maybe he's just doing his job and doing his job normally and keeping it professional. How normal, I don't know, psychiatrists go about their job and not like be weird to women. I don't know.
Of plausible deniability.
It's against policy. Yeah, and that.
Didn't ever like ask me if I had a crush on him, but he didn't do anything when I told him. Yes, I told him.
He didn't do anything when I told him. God, desktop TikTok is the most busted thing ever. Next one.
Oh, he wasn't just
What? This story is wild. He was fine with that dynamic.
fine with me having a crush on him and being in love with him. He loved it. And
He loved it? Hang on. Nothing we've watched thus far has, again, we have to keep in mind when we watch this, we are just viewers. We are just viewers from afar. So there might be details that she omits and we're not getting the opportunity to see his side of it is another important equation, another thing to factor into this equation while watching this. Because, what is she saying here?
he had every ethical duty to end the psychiatric relationship when he found out that I had a crush on him, but he kept me for years after. And
He kept me for years? Help. Blender, what do you think of this? I want to know your thoughts. Help. What the hell is this? What is going on here? What the actual fuck?
this is what I mean. He was a 38-year-old, attractive, smart, extremely successful psychiatrist, but he did not date. Why didn't he date? Because he got his emotional needs met feeding off of his patients and getting fantasy.
Did he say that? Did he exclusively say that? The psychiatrist is wrong too. He should have ended all sessions with her once. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, but what?
Exactly. He should have ended the sessions right there, right?
Sorry, but what did you want him to do? Get rid of medical degree. He was the
Wait, I hit the wrong video. Wait. Sounds crazy. I'm thinking fault on both parts. Maybe delusion from her. Yeah, I do think there's like fault to be had on both parts. It is a little interesting to me that like sometimes there's shit that I see on the internet where I'm thinking like The internet did not need to hear about this. This is one of those unique circumstances
Sorry, but
where I think that.
Sorry, but what did you want him to do? Get rid of you as a patient? Yes. Yes. That's what they're taught in psychiatric.
To get rid of you as a patient. This is an interesting dynamic here because she's like, he needed to get rid of me, but if I've picked up what's been put down so far, it sounds like she has a crush on him, but she's accusing him of like holding on to her for some reason. I guess maybe this is my own fault here. I'm not understanding this, but I don't like, and maybe stop me. This is bad to say. I'll take it back if it's bad to say. I'll quickly take it back. But what am I missing here that she couldn't just leave the session? Is she like tied to this psychiatrist where she couldn't just leave, or is this like a mental thing here where it's like, I feel like someone might say it's like a mental thing, like people might be like, oh well, when you're in this kind of like mental state, like you don't understand, like it's really hard to leave, or I don't know what the counter argument to that is.
Training is that the moment that there is romantic feelings, it is on them to transfer that patient out. Without a doubt. He was the one with the medical.
Wait, what?
It is on training. Is that the moment that there is romantic feelings, it is on them to transfer that patient out.
Oh, so now it's kind of sounding like she was expecting him to kick her out because of her feelings. Like she set him up to kick her out. That's kind of how this sounds to me right now. And she was like, wait, but he's not kicking me out after I did the thing that he's supposed to do.
Without a doubt. He was the one with the medical degree. He was the one that knew better. But he loved the attention that I gave him too much to do the right thing.
Did he? I haven't gathered that he loved the attention. The only thing I've gathered is that based on what she's saying here, he hasn't kicked her out. So she's assuming he loves the attention. What is going on here?
So yes, that's what I wanted him to do. The ethical thing.
So, okay, so then what's next? What's next? What are people going to retort to this? Were you going through something psychologically that made you comfortable telling him he was attractive and you had a crush on him? Because this is like she's dangerous. I'm dead serious. We'll see.
Going through something psychologically, let me be perfectly clear here. Even if I was going through something psychologically, it was on my psychiatrist to do something about it because he was the one.
Oh my, I'm not even joking you. So far, this sounds like something where she like set up the punch. She's like waiting. You get me? Like she did this to be like, wait, will he make the right move that I think is the right move that they've been trained to do? I don't know if this is an actual policy. I'm not gonna say it isn't, but I don't know enough about a psychiatrist to know this, but is that a policy that psychiatrists have where they have to do this? They have to like kick their patient out if their patient expresses that they have a crush on them or something? Because she said he didn't retort. He didn't respond when she said it. He just kind of like kept doing his thing professionally.
With the ethical training and the psychiatric knowledge. So to answer your question, no, I was not going through something.
Ask ChatGPT. Yeah, good point. I actually just ran out of ChatGPT like replies today. I just used it for work today, and it was like, you are out of replies till you fucking pay. And I was like, what?
I was simply wanting to go back on ADHD meds. And I told him in my intake about some of the family stress that I had went through, relational stress. And he also diagnosed me with not only ADHD, but other trauma, stress related.
I want to get this story right. So at no point in this so far, she has not even exclusively said that he looked at her and said that he also has a crush on her. That has not been a thing yet. but she's turned it into a thing because he stuck around and he didn't kick her out. So because he didn't kick her out, she's assuming he likes her back. I'm pretty sure that's where we're at in this.
He did not tell me about that diagnosis until I asked him a year and a half later. But what he did with that diagnosis was he used it to recreate attachment bonds and make me addicted to him.
What?
Was I going through something psychologically? Let me be perfectly distinct. But what he did with that diagnosis was he used it to recreate attachment bonds and make me addicted to him.
Huh? What in the world is happening here? Hold on.
Okay, I don't know who you are, but you...
This kind of feels like one of those, like, situations where it's like a very self-fulfilled thing here. But I'm wondering, like, is it his fault, too, because he didn't kick her out, you know? I keep feeling like that.
You absolutely get it, because...
Like, he should have done something about this early on, right? But because he didn't do something about this early on, does that mean that... Like, we're not getting anything from his side of it. We're just getting how she feels about his actions. We're not really hearing...
Predatory psychiatrists who feed off...
Oh, in your response, you said he accidentally caught feelings for himself. I beg to differ. Nothing is accidental when it comes to psychiatrists and therapists who feed off their clients' energy, sweat, or ego.
Of the emotions and vulnerabilities of their patients, like for a living, they absolutely do not ever intend to catch feelings. They do not intend to catch feelings. Like, but my psychiatrist accidentally caught feelings for me because, and I know that he did because he started leaking at the end.
If the patient expresses feelings towards their psychiatrist, oh, is this the answer on ChatGPT? If a patient expresses feelings towards a psychiatrist, the psychiatrist will likely explore these feelings with the patient, a process known as transference to understand. Express feelings towards the psychiatrist will likely explore these feelings with the patient. Transfer to understand their origins and may discuss. So it doesn't say anything about kicking them out. It says they might discuss it with them.
He started leaking at the end by, he accidentally told me one time that he had countertrans.
Wait, so are we still on the same page? I don't want to, like... This is... I feel like this is a slippery slope of commentary here. There, like, somehow, in some weird world, I feel like there's going to be someone who's, like, a professional psychiatrist who's still going to comment and be like, look, bro, I work in a psychiatrist's office. You don't get it. That's a hardline rule at all psychiatrists' office. You have to kick the patient out. You know, I feel like I sniffed that comment a million miles away. But also, Wi-Fi just used ChatGPT to answer that. So I'm going to throw this chat on the screen real quick. Just so other people who are watching can see. All right. That's ChatGPT's answer. So I'm going to take that for now.
Transference. That was a big slip for him. And I was the one that still had to walk away. But yeah, it is absolutely a predator's worst nightmare to catch feelings for their supply. So I don't know who you are, but you get it. So thank you for seeing the truth in this situation too.
Countertransference when the provider has inappropriate feelings for their... Dog, what the fuck is happening here?
Oh, I know it's common.
It's actually very common to fall in love with your therapist, they said. And it's okay to... What is happening? What is happening here? How did we arrive at therapist? She's talking about psychiatrists. These are not the same things. What the fuck? Very common to fall in love with your therapist, and it's okay that they stay your therapist as long as your boundaries are set.
But what's unethical about this situation is that my psychiatrist did not help me work. Yeah, I learned that.
Wait, what? God, the internet is... God, TikTok, desktop is the most busted shit.
Oh, I know it's common. But what's unethical?
Rowan, what's up? Happy to see you in here. Nice new PFP. Jesus Christ, I just got here. How many videos has this lady made? Like, one too fucking many. It's unhinged. This is like one of the most unhinged TikTok stories I've seen in a hot minute.
About this situation is that my psychiatrist did not help me work through my feelings. What my psychiatrist did was stayed completely silent as I would pour out my love and devotion to him, and he just drank it in and did nothing to help me work.
What? Wait a minute. What? Clippy holding a gun is a temporary profile pic. What is happening here, dog? This is absolutely so insane. I feel like I'm losing my mind here. Can we run that back real quickly?
Magical about this situation is that my psychiatrist did not help me work through my feelings. What my psychiatrist did was...
Okay, first off, if I could be wrong here, but isn't that also just like a therapist's job to help someone work through their feelings? Isn't that like why people go to therapy?
Stayed completely silent as I would pour out my love and...
Okay, he stayed completely silent. He's like doing... Am I wrong to say that this is like the professional thing to do as he's like giving her the prescription? Right?
Devotion to him. And he just drank it in and did nothing to help me work through those feelings. Nothing to help me work through past attachment. Yeah, he let me...
Wait.
Yeah, I learned that.
So, her expressing her love or her feelings towards him, he is supposed to in turn... Wait. Wrong clip. Wait.
Oh, I know it's coming.
So he is in turn supposed to like make her feel detached from him personally in order to work through her own personal past issues. Is that what she's saying? Is that how a psychiatrist is supposed to handle this situation? So she's saying he's handling it wrong because he didn't help her feel unattached to him. So was she supposed to walk in to feel attached to him and make that be a dramatic situation between them two in order to get her through it?
Yeah, I learned that through this experience. That
my female psychiatrist told me that almost male psychiatrists are creeps.
Many broken and wounded men.
No, she never said the psychiatrist is receptive to her advancements. Yeah.
Are attracted to psychiatry when they're in med school because they learn that they have access to vulnerability, to extreme.
Rowan, what do you think about this? Like, what are your did you watch through all this already, or are you just seeing it for the first time in my stream? And if you are, what are your thoughts? This is one of those, okay, chat. This is one of those streams where if anyone catches me like going in the wrong direction on something, I need you to like stop me and be like, look, you need to like understand this first, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because I'm watching this live, real time. We're not pre-watching here. Live, real time, going through this with you guys. And I'm just kind of like climbing through the situation.
Vulnerability that they themselves don't allow themselves to feel or access, but they can get it from their patients. So that's why they can do anything, but they go to psychiatry so they can feed off of the vulnerability of their patients and be the wounded healer instead of having to just face their own demons. Yeah, I will not be seeing another male psychiatrist again. Yeah, I learned that through the...
Okay, while there might be truth within this sentiment here of all male psychiatrists are creeps, almost all male, there might be truth within that, you know, in the underlying situation that, like, sure, some male psychiatrists are creeps, right? Probably not all of them. This person is speaking clearly out of experience here. Yeah, I can see why she needed a psychiatrist and not a therapist. Yeah.
Yeah, he let me see him
You had a psychiatrist that you saw often?
every month, even though I only had to see him every 3 months. This is what I mean. He loved attention from me. He didn't ever tell me I only...
Dog, this whole he loved attention from me feels like her own self-fulfilled prophecy. It still does. Until she gets me to believe otherwise, I'm going to be hard stuck on that.
This is the hard part about this story, is that he was so...
You know what's crazy about this? I like to look at like another side of this situation. Like, I wish he had a video, or not even if he had a video, but I almost wish that... I'm realizing my volume's a little bit low. Not even that he had a video, but I'm almost wishing that there was like another side to this to hear, like the psychiatrist side of it, you know? Not to be a both sides Andy, but in this situation, I would want to hear his side of it. Because we're not getting any of that. We're getting fucking nothing.
good at plausible deniability. He was really smart and good at being a predator. He had been a psychiatrist for 12 years. So he didn't ever ask me to give him sexual content. I did that on my own. And
what?
Give him or ask psychiatrist for 12 years. So he didn't ever ask me to give him sexual content. I did that on my own.
Ew! What? 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 What the fuck? What the living... What? I like how the comments are turned off here. What? Excuse me? She gave him that content on her own? Casually admitting to sexually harassing someone? Yeah, what the fuck? Dog. I wonder what, like, AOL and stuff is writing about this. Like a dude sending dick pics without asking? Yeah.
And he just let it happen, and he let me keep talking. He did not stop and redirect the conversation as a normal psychiatrist would have.
So, okay, I've said this time and time again already, but this feels like a weird arc where she's, like, using things that have happened to her, but making them real time and putting them on him and making him have to mend the situation between them two in order for her to have fixed her past problems instead of like talking through past problems. Does that make sense? No, not this lady again. Yeah, this is fucking bonkers.
Right? Or an ethical one at least. And he also didn't stop me when I told him that I had a crush on him many times. He didn't say, let's explore those feelings. He just sat there and let me tell him. And I won't ever forgive him, but I don't think he did anything that's reportable. And
wait, why was she getting all mad at him? She's like, he didn't do anything that was reportable. She seems like she knows everything about psychiatry. I know. I haven't seen her like admit to fault. This is the closest I've seen her admit to any kind of fault. And she's not even admitting to fault here, but she's like, he's not responsible.
That's reportable.
You know, he has nothing that's reportable. You have? Excuse me, ma'am. You have, though. You sent him content. Just put it lightly. You sent him content. I think you've done the reportable thing here. This is fucking wild. I did not expect that arc.
I didn't mean to fall in love with my psychiatrist.
Not supposed to fall in love with my psychiatrist. Your psychiatrist, my dear.
He used things and trauma that I had went through in the past. He did his best to use that against me and to groom me to fall in love with him so I could give him content for his fantasy.
But he's not even in this though. Wait, he's not even in this. So what is she saying? Hold up.
I didn't mean to fall in love with my psychiatrist.
This woman is 6'2".
He used things and trauma that I had went through in the past. He did his best to use that against me and to groom me to fall in love with him so I could give him content for his fantasy. Don't
Dog, you did all this on your own. Oh my god. So now she's gonna chirp at him for the content she sent on his own that he didn't even ask for. She just put it right in his face, which, like a chatter correctly pointed out in my community, that she's just casually admitting to sexually harassing somebody.
Don't worry, I'll tell the whole story either later today or
Hate that she calls everything content.
I try not to use this term of narcissist.
A lot of narcissist positions of power, psychiatrists, doctors, nurses, lawyers, judges, cops, anyone in a position of power have a lot of narcissists, and a lot of them are in military too.
Because I think it's overused in our society. However,
I'm certainly not a narcissist, but I think the word's overused. No, couldn't be me. No.
There were so many traits that my psychiatrist had, like God complex. He thought he was above.
Can I say something? Can I say something? This is a really hot take, but I'm saying it anyway. If you're being totally honest with yourself, we all have a little bit of narcissism in us. No matter what. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. We do. But there are people out in society that their narcissism, you know, peeks through a little extra. Maybe, perhaps the name Ethan Klien is coming to mind when I say this. What? Who? I didn't say that.
Of the rules. Other psychiatrists had to refer out when they had.
I don't know, maybe perhaps this girl a little bit. I love tall women. What is the, this is so ADHD of me, but what is the whole, like, height thing? Why are we fixating on that as a society? I'm not shaming you for saying you like tall women. It's a preference. I get it. But I also don't understand our whole, like, height argument in society. The amount of times that I've been told you're not tall enough is insane. Like, I've told people this. I've talked about this in real life plenty of times before. But holy shit, people are so fucking tall now. And now people are just like, yeah, yep, I want to be with someone who's 9'45", and you're just like, I'm like, you do know that's like 0.112% of the population in the world, right? My son's
just
mom.
With a run at the gym.
God, dude, this TikTok is so busted.
I try not to use this term of narcissist because I
My
think
son's mom is 5'11" and I'm 5'7". God damn.
it's overused in our
Not taking into
society.
consideration that she's
However,
6'2".
there were so many
Is she actually qualified to be diagnosing this guy like this, or is she just pulling it out of her ass? She's pulling it out of her ass.
traits that my psychiatrist had, like God complex. He thought he was above the rules. Other psychiatrists had to refer out when they had counter traits.
It's killing me. The whole thing that's killing me, Maximum Short King confirmed, unfortunately. Yes. Check it out. There we go. I think I'm like 5'9". I think I'm 5'9". But this is crazy here.
Transference for their clients, for their patients, but he didn't think he had to. He thought he could be above it. He also would make me feel
she's
crazy
like,
when I would try to name.
She's like making up feelings for him. Us short kings have leverage. We do. True. Actually based. 5'9" is too tall to be a short king. Maybe I'm like 5'7". Maybe I'm 5'9". I think I'm 5'9". Maybe I might even be 5'11". Shit, I don't know. But that's not tall enough. It's not tall enough to society. Society wants you to be taller. And that's not me speaking out of insecurity. That's literally me speaking out of personal experience from talking to a billion people that I talk to. on a regular basis that literally harp on this whole height thing. This is crazy. This is fucking insane right here. She is making up feelings and making up instances from him that we don't even get a blip to hear from him at all on. That's crazy. That would be like, it's because of woke. Yeah. What woke is when tall. This is like this is like some uncanny shit. This would be like if I started making videos and being like, "Oh, this YouTuber just doesn't like me because they said because they felt like I had they had like 400,000 less subscribers than they do, and they just don't like that energy or something." Like, this would be almost akin to that, where it's like, that YouTuber didn't even get a chance to, like, say that or get a chance to, like, feel that way. I just kind of, like, put those words in this YouTuber's mouth, you know? Where it's like, she's just doing that. She's just giving him, I'm gonna die if there's a point in this where she's like, oh, he's actually not a real person or something, you know?
The dynamic and the tension that was there between us that he himself manufactured.
I'm close to personal friends with Hassan Piker. This comment can be confirmed. I am friends with people who have been into Hassan Piker's house. This can be confirmed. 2 people. Yep.
And built. And then he would rage at me and tell me that I was wrong. It's crazy. And I definitely will be on the lookout when I'm interacting with these people. For those tendencies. I try not to use this term.
I'll be on the lookout for people, dog. I think they're on the lookout for you. Oh, I don't make the rules. I just got done with
a run at the gym, and I just had to take a moment to say that this is what an ethical situation with transference looks like. A male provider.
Why are we stuck on transference? Isn't Hassan pro-Palestine? Yes.
When their female patient has a crush on them, saying, let's explore that, let's unpack that, let's learn the deeper trauma behind why you have an attachment to an authority figure. But what my psychiatrist gave me was silence, smirks, and exploitation. Zero help when I told him that I had a crush on him. And the deeper trauma behind why you have an attachment to an authority figure. But what I got...
Dog, she is in like a Planet... Am I wrong? Is she in a Planet Fitness recording this? She's like, yo, hold up. I gotta cut my workout real quick. Hold up. Let's talk about this. Oh my god, dog.
What my psychiatrist gave me was silence, smirks.
Okay, well, she's already said that. Why the fuck is she saying the same thing 100 times over?
I fell in love with my psychiatrist.
This video popped off. This got 6 million views. She sees me on once more 30 minutes or telehealth. How the fuck is she in love?
Psychiatrist, and he knew, and he kept me until I had the strength to leave after 4 years.
He kept me. He put me in his cage in his office, like a little doggy in the cage.
It is part 1. So I decided to go back on ADHD meds after many years of being off of them. I was on them in my early 20s to help me get through college. And then I went off of them because they just weren't, like, the side effects were too much over the benefits. But then in my late 20s, I read this book, Taking Charge of Adult ADHD, and it absolutely changed my life. For my fellow ADHDers, there's so many good things in here. And the biggest thing that I took away was that it's very important for ADHDers to be on meds. So I decided to make an appointment with a psychiatrist. I just Googled psychiatry in the city that I lived in.
Chat. All right. Chat, I need some responses here. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about this whole fucking thing? Be careful, someone will fall in love with me. How are we feeling about this whole thing? One, if you're like, I need to know. This is like stuff like this is important to me to know if other people are like following along too, because sometimes when I watch like other streamers or other people talk about situations like this in YouTube videos, I feel myself getting lost, and I don't want other chatters to get lost. You know? One, if you're on track. Two, if you're off track. One for on track, two for off track. Where are we at? I need to know. The delusion is strong. One, lock the fuck in. One. Okay, we're on track. Okay. Cool. Alright. Sweet. Let's keep going.
And I went with the first one that came up, and I got an appointment within a month. And then I booked a 90-minute intake, and I show up to the intake, and this man is my age, and I can't help but notice that he's pretty attractive.
Caught. She got caught right there. I can't help but notice he's pretty attractive. All right. Alrighty, this is still on you, sister.
I fell in love with my psychiatrist, and he kept me anyway, part 2. So,
wait, what is happening? What the fuck is happening here? Is she relitigating what we already talked about? Because that last story ringed hollow to that first thing that we talked about.
You know, I kind of clocked that he was attractive in my age, but when I tell you that I've had a lot of couch time in my life, a lot of therapy, you know, I just went right into it. I trusted him enough, of course, why wouldn't I, to tell him about my childhood trauma, my daddy.
Wait, is that a thing? Is that a thing? Do people do that? I'm sorry, but like, do people actually do that? If like, I'll be honest here. I'll be honest. I've never been to therapy before, and I know that there's people that might get mad at that. People are like, actually, you should go to therapy, whether you think it's for you or not. You should go. I know a lot of people that have that attitude. But I'll say my reason for bringing that up here is that a thing? Do people walk into therapy or into like psychiatry sessions with said person they're given and just like off cuff be like, this is the person I trust? Because when I talk to people who are in therapy, they'll tell me like I've had to like switch therapists, but I don't know if that means they trusted the wrong one right off the bat and then they switch, or if they like switched off cuff, meaning like, because don't you have to like talk with this person over the phone or like talk with them in a Zoom call or something? Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it's not a good fit. So are people like predetermined to like trust their psychiatrist or like therapist off bat, and then you realize it doesn't work? You know what I mean?
Issues, if you will.
By your logic, happy to see you in here. How you doing? I had a therapist not really listen to me for months, so I had to switch. Yeah, that's like the most common thing that I hear. But did you trust that therapist like right off the cuff, you know? Like when you like signed up to be in therapy or however that works, did you immediately be like, boom, trusting this person right now because they are a therapist? I'm not looking any further into them. They are a therapist. They know what they're doing. I'm trusting them right now. Is that how it works? Or am I speaking out of place here? Maybe if you have money, also crazy, a trauma dump with a psychiatrist? Yeah.
What I had went through, all of the relationship trauma that I had. I was 6 months sober at this time, but like all of the drinking.
You can have to give someone your trust they're at least a professional about it. Does anger management count as therapy? I suppose it's a form of therapy. I don't really know. I'm not smart enough to speak on that, but I suppose I guess if you wanted to kind of categorized under that, I suppose it could be. That's kind of crazy to think that you're not really given an opportunity to like meet with the person over a Zoom call, or like, I don't know. It's like if you're gonna go that route, then why would you not just like give someone that you go on like a first date with your trust right off the bat too? You know what I mean? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm so happy. One of my OG chatters is in here. I am so happy to see you, Maria. Oh my god. What's up? Maria's an OG chatter. I think it was like my first live stream. Maria was in there, and I was like, what the frick? That's so sick. I'm so happy to see you in here. You have mods? Yeah, I do. Chris is a mod, and I feel like I think Chris and Rowan Brothers is a mod, I believe. I think those are my two mods right now.
And substance use I used to do, and
All right, Maria, are you caught up with this fell in love with my psychiatrist story? We're like halfway through it, I think.
Just listened and nodded. And that's the thing about psychiatrists, is that they're good at pretending to listen. They can appear connected.
You know what I'm starting to realize? Okay, hear me out. This might be like my own personal take on this, but a lot of what she is saying is starting to sound a lot like she's going into like Reddit forums and like going online and literally Googling like, what are some terrible things psychiatrists can do to you? What are some bad situations people have had with psychiatrists? And then using that to like make up stories of things that are like not happening. It's starting to sound like that.
But that doesn't mean that they're always connected.
You start to feel a little bit more vulnerable, right? Like, I've had this happen to me before, right? Where like one time someone was like, I literally had someone like read me like a freaking clock, and I was like, what the fuck? I literally looked at this person and I was like, I think you know me better than I know myself. It was the most freakish thing. But I started to feel like I could like tell that person a little bit more about me at that point. So to her credit, I do kind of get that part, right? Uh-oh, are we effing? Are we effing? No F? Do we have an F in chat? Uh-oh. Are we effing? What's up, Maria? Are we effing? F'd? Is the F gone? Mini F? We're back? Alright, sorry, mini F. I did see the frame rate thing hit like a 2 for a second. Some weird thing from a couple weeks ago. YouTube was trying to be more like Twitch or something. Jesus Christ. The whole time she's never had self-awareness. I think she could have done anything wrong. She makes herself the victim the whole time. Yeah. Constant victim. We're good now. Alright, cool. What the heck? Yeah, I'm so freaking stoked. That made my freaking night. I love seeing when like OG chatters hop in here. Maria, do you remember that chatter that came from the Penguin Zero community? And then I think I accidentally one time, what did I say? I said something by total accident. And then that chatter just like didn't get that I don't have malintention. And that chatter just like effed off and never came back to my stream ever again. They used to always chat in here when you were in here. And I've been feeling really bad about that ever since. I didn't really... Yeah, remember that? I wish that chatter was still... That chatter seemed like a nice person. I was just like bummed that chatter left. Like, it was like that one moment and they were just like out. Never came back. Yeah. You guys used to like chat back and forth. I don't feel bad. Yeah, I'm trying not to.
Stimulant ADHD med at the lowest dose just to figure out if it was going to work for me.
I think I accidentally said, like, she instead of they one time when I exclusively would say they to this chatter, because that was what the chatter wanted to be referred to as, was they, and then I, like, once accidentally said she or something, and then that chatter was history.
I was in love with my psychiatrist and he kept me anyway, part 3. So I hadn't ever seen a psychiatrist before.
Oh, that...
When I was on meds in my early 20s.
I don't always agree. Yeah, I know. You and I... I was telling a friend about that recently. How I like having you in here because you, like, earlier in chat, we had a disagreement, but you, like, talked through it with me, and you're like, this is what I think. And I'm like, cool, this is what I think. We have, like, a healthy back and forth dynamic, and I like that. I do hope that I can have more chatters like yourself in here, where I can have that back and forth dynamic of, like, maybe 6 chatters in here agree with what I'm saying, maybe you don't, and you're the person that's like, hey, this is what I think, you know? I think it's good to have healthy, and it's becomes unhealthy when someone is like, this is what I think, and this is the only way, and fuck you, I'm leaving. You know, that's when it's unhealthy. So I appreciate you in here. You are a much appreciated chatter in this community.
I only got meds from my primary care physician. So I didn't understand how psychiatry works. So because he was
I don't want this to be an echo chamber. Yeah. No, you're freaking awesome for that. And that's something I said. Maria might remember this. One of my first few streams, like the second stream in, I think it was, third stream in, might have even been that Shane Dawson stream that I did. I don't remember when. It was one of the earlier streams on, but I was like, I exclusively said that. I was like, I don't want this to ever, like, be an echo chamber. In fact, it might have even been, like, I don't remember what stream it was, but I said that. I was like, I want people to have, like, healthy discussions in here and different opinions on stuff.
Med dose. I saw him every...
Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that I don't appreciate people that have, like, obviously I appreciate people that share the same opinion as I have, and that's why I make this content, right? It's nice to have people that have different opinions. I think I see oftentimes, like, bigger YouTubers get too trapped in, like, people re-justifying even when they have a bad opinion, and then I'm like, this seems unhealthy.
Every month. And he just made me feel like I was his friend. He was really, really funny and cracked jokes and told me he was impressed with my running that I would do.
He was impressed with my running, dog. He had my whole heart. You know, I knew he was the one for me when he told me he was impressed with my running. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, of course, I loved the attention that I got from him. And it was in my 3rd session with him, because at this point we were all on Zoom, that I asked him, I said, hey, do you mind if I call you by your first name? And
it happens to exercising,
so I said his first name wrong. And he said, well,
he's a doctor.
This, but yes, of course you can. And he seemed so smug and happy with himself. And
Dog, she is, oh my God, I know why she's trying to see a psychiatrist. Jesus Christ. She's looking for any blip of a reaction, any blip of a facial reaction for her to make up a whole fucking story about it. And he was happy and she was like, she is gone, dude.
I know that is because...
Hey, also, one thing I need to make very clear before anybody rips me up is while we're making fun and, you know, commentary and, like, we're laughing at shit here, I have to say this anyway. Mental health is a very serious thing. It's not anything that I take lightly. It's nothing that I think we should be out in public laughing at other people for their mental health disorders and shit like that. We're literally watching, like, someone lose their mind in broad daylight right here. But just because we're, like, making comments and talking about this and, you know, hearing her say absolutely insane shit doesn't justify people's actions in public on this kind of thing. If you catch someone with it, I think you should definitely talk to your friend that might be going through something. You should be there for them, help them through it. Maybe they don't know where to go, help point them in the right direction. Maybe they're someone that is going through these similar emotions she is, help guide them to a psychiatrist, help put them in the right direction, things like that. And I think it's something that the more you can help someone put in the right direction, the more you can better people around you, because you might see someone going through something, and just because you do doesn't mean you should tell them they need to see a psychiatrist. That's something they should kind of come to terms with on their own, and then maybe they're like, where is a good psychiatrist? Then you can kind of help them. I don't think you should just go to a friend acting out like this girl in this fashion to be like, go see a psychiatrist. That's not okay. That might make them spiral even worse. So I had to get that out of the way. All right? Had to say that.
That was his first sign that him pretending like we're friends was working. And to be fair to me, I have only ever...
Zoe's taking accountability for her actions. Yeah, her mental health may explain her actions, but doesn't excuse them. Yeah.
I've been to therapy before. I didn't realize that, you know, it's important to call your doctor last name. I mean, I did know that. I did it with all my other doctors, but it just showed that the boundaries were blurring, and he liked that. So from then on, I will say, for someone going through like mental health spirals like this, it's pretty damn brave of her to be like putting herself in broad daylight like this. Like, you know, it got bad when she had to shut the comments off, you know? It's like putting yourself on blast. The third session on, I started calling him his first name. And then he just started
she doesn't think she's
up
wrong.
The volume on us being friendly. And
I think it's kind of like interesting to see that she thought she was putting this out in the public to then get response, and she thought like, oh hell yeah, people are gonna be fucking so on board with this, and then like nobody was on board with it, and she was like, wait a minute, nobody's on board with me here? What's happening?
He would ask me, for the first 6 sessions, he asked me, after the meds, he said, how's your bowels, bladder, and appetite? And
oh my God. Am I going crazy, chat? Am I losing my mind? Or does she keep saying the same thing over and 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 over fucking over again in all her videos, just in a different fashion? She's like, he did this, and then he said this, and then I felt like this. Is that too crazy of me to say? Is she not repeating the same thing over and over again?
So I was seeing him every month and just...
You already said that. Oh my God.
Gaining more and more respect for him, because he would just tell me these little things about
He told me something, and this is how
and
I felt.
All of the cool things that he was doing in his life.
And then how'd you feel?
It made me fall for him, honestly.
Oh, look at that. It's like a math equation. Look at that. It's like I just did the math. He said something, here's how I felt. And then this is what how does it go? It goes, this is what it's gonna make me feel like.
He just wasn't doing very much for me. And so that therapist retired.
Pre-watch, nope.
Therapist.
Girl
and this
boss,
new
gaslight,
therapist, who is a 75-year-old woman with a PhD, she was pretty helpful. So I stopped asking my
Figured out her
psychiatrist,
formula.
to be my therapist and let me see him more, right? Which also should have been a red flag. But then I started focusing on this therapist. However, I would tell the therapist how...
Okay, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something too. There's videos that I've made on this channel before, like the airplane girl. Do you guys remember this whole airplane girl thing right here? Right here, do you remember this lady where I made this video? Like, I kind of like pointed to her like mental health situation here. This one, do you remember this? Look, there's my short. When this lady was like, had like hallucinations of like shit that she was like seeing. She like walked up to the lady and was like, no, this is what's happening. But like that shit was not happening in front of her. You remember that? And then I think at some point in the video, I was like, oh yeah, she's like going through something. But there were people that were like, just calling her fucking insane. and saying that like she was drunk. Yeah, and she was also, her being drunk was an added thing into this. But then it was later revealed that when she made a video going right here, I think was it this video where she was talking about, it was like a whole podcast right here. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, I was going through some mental thing and blah, 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 blah. It was just like a mental health spiral, right? That's kind of like reminding me a lot of this, where it's like, we need to treat this in the same fashion that, you know, that was treated, really. Because I'm sure with all this media attention she's getting, I would not be surprised if she hit a fucking podcast after this. And I don't think I've heard anybody say this yet, but I'm almost certain this girl is going to be on somebody's podcast or something, and we're going to hear about it later on. I'd be shocked to find out that I would not hear about this at a later date. Oh my God, desktop TikTok is busted.
I was in love with my psychiatrist and he kept me anyway, part 3.
I just want to give people grace during their crash outs. I don't think this level of attention helps. Feels like West Elm Caleb in a weird way to me. Yeah, actually you're right. Yeah. I always want to give, I read that as I don't. I always want to give people grace during their crash outs. I don't think this level of attention helps. I don't know why I read that as I don't. How the fuck did I get I don't? She'll be on podcast, maybe. Does she want to podcast herself? Yeah, she's going to be on somebody's fucking podcast. I guarantee it. She'll be on The Yard. She'll be on The Yard. I'm just kidding. She won't be on The Yard.
So I was seeing him at...
Oh my God. It's so busted. Okay.
I was in love with my psychiatrist and he kept me anyway, part 3. So I hadn't ever seen a psychiatrist.
Hey, chat, if you guys noticed this, we were watching 30-second videos before, and then she was like, oh shit, people are watching. She cranked that shit up to 252. This girl is collecting straight up ad rev. Dog, we could all be rich. Hear me out. We could all be rich. Get on TikTok, fabricate a story, get that ad rev, retire. Easy. What are we doing? Fuck are we doing wasting our time? I just spent the better part of my day filming TikToks for somebody who I won't disclose. But goddamn, I get out here filming TikToks for people, and I think to myself, they're collecting ad rev. I can collect ad rev. I need to freaking chirp. I need to chirp more often. I need to start fabricating some shit. Is what fabricated? You're gonna start a parallel social relationship with a YouTuber? I was in love with blank YouTuber. Here's the story.
When I was in love with my psychiatrist.
So wait.
So I was seeing him every
Oh my
month.
God, dude, desktop TikTok is the worst thing ever.
I was in love with my psychiatrist and he kept me anyway, part 3. So I hadn't ever seen a psychiatrist before. When I was on meds in my early 20s, I
Mr.
only
Beast
got
fell in
meds
love
from
with
my
me.
primary care physician. So I didn't understand how psychiatry works. So because he was figuring out my med dose, I saw him every month, and he just made me feel like I was his friend. He was really, really funny and cracked jokes and
Dog,
told me he was impressed with my running that I would do.
We're back. How are we back? He's impressed by running and crack jokes. Next TikTok, dog. We already talked about this.
So I was seeing him every month and just...
Oh my, we already talked about that.
I got a new therapist. I stopped begging my psychiatrist to see me weekly. And that is
This is
when
an update?
the intermittent reinforcement started. Some sessions he'd be warm and kind and wonderful and let me in.
Does she
on
drop his
little
name?
parts of his life and like be vulnerable with me or pretend. Other sessions he would be cold and
I was in love with my favorite podcaster, and he called the cops anyway. So I was getting subliminal messages he was sending me every week. Chat, there we go. I just unlocked the biggest TikTok secret for all of you. We're all, as a collective community here, we're all going to retire early. Get on TikTok, make up a story, get 10,000 followers, make minute-long videos. Once people watch, make 2-minute long videos, and then make them longer. Start making like 5-minute videos. You'll retire in no time. One time I met the guys in Fall Out Boy and Pete Wentz looked right into my eyes. We're soulmates. Easy money.
Clinical and detached. And you know what that did? It made me work harder in our next
I don't have
sessions.
TikTok. Wi-Fi, I'm afraid to tell you, it's your time to download it. If you want to retire, I'm giving you the formula.
It did. And it started the addiction that I had to him. 100%. And he knew exactly what he was doing. This man gives lectures on trauma and attachment theory. He used his psychiatric training to manipulate me and get me hooked. And guess what? It worked. In January of 2024, I was hit by a car turning left as I was going through a green light.
Ouch.
And it was the night before my next appointment with my psychiatrist. So I was like, okay, I'll still be able to go to my appointment on Zoom. I'm okay. But I did make an appointment with an urgent care the next day just to get checked out. I had bruising on my abdomen and a perforated eardrum. And the provider at the urgent care said,
I'm never getting TikTok. Too dangerous. Good for you. You know what? I'll say this. I stopped watching TikTok videos for like a month. Like kind of midway in like June, I just like tuned out of TikTok. Other than when I went on stream, I might have like clicked on a TikTok video on X or something with you guys. Other than that, I like didn't open up TikTok on my phone. Oh. The kind of mental clarity that I had. Oh. It was out of this world. It was, I think I like made new friends that month and everything. And I was like, holy shit. Is it worth downloading TikTok? Oh, it's ATP. I don't know what ATP is, but maybe that did it. A little traumatic brain injury. Yeah, she's now revealing she got hit by a fucking car. Did she get a brain? Did you guys see that shit? Ethan and Eva Klien admitting they both have like a brain injury. Did you guys see this on X? It popped off like 2 or 3 days ago. They both were like, yeah. So Ethan went in, he has a lesion in his brain, and I went in, find out I had a lesion in my brain. And I was like, okay, this says a lot.
I do not feel comfortable treating you. You need to seek emergency care now. You may be internally bleeding. But it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and my appointment with my psychiatrist was at 2. So I decided that I was going to wait so I could see my psychiatrist and not have to reschedule because I was looking forward to my appointment with him so much. I look back at that time and I'm just like, oh my God, I put my own life,
RFK style
under seeing him. I was fully addicted to him at this point. And you know what happened is that I showed up and I told him that I may be internally bleeding, and he didn't stop the appointment. He didn't say, you need to take care of yourself. Go get emergency care now. He let me continue and just tell him about how much I loved him and how grateful I was for him. Because that was...
I'm starting to feel like... Why am I starting to feel like the psychiatrist isn't real? The more this goes on, I'm like, is this person even real?
After I risked my life to see him, that's when he really started turning up the intimacy in our appointments. However, he was really smart and knew the professional lines like the back of his hand. So he would comment on my appearance, but not...
No, he's real. People dox him and his family. Jesus Christ.
Compliment my appearance.
I felt that a long time ago. Yeah, that was my tinfoil hat theory. But I think one of my chatters in here watched through this already and knows.
And he would say, oh, you curled your hair. Or I would come on screen and he would say, oh, you're wearing glasses. And of course I felt seen, and excited that he was noticing these things about me. I didn't realize at this time that he had feelings for me too. I thought I was holding them all by myself. So I was so excited when he noticed my glasses that I ran and showed him my other pair, and he said, I prefer turtle shell glasses. So even though I usually wear contacts, I'm wearing these turtle shell glasses in these videos because just in case he sees them ever, he'll see me in his favorite glasses. He did tell me he likes the...
Oh my God, no! 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 What the fuck? No! No! What the fuck, man? No! Oh no! Oh no! Help me, God! Oh no! She said, in case he sees my TikToks. Oh, hell no. Oh no!
The turtle shell. Anyway, it was just inappropriate things like that. Little teeny things that he let me in. And all this time, my best friend is an emergency medicine physician. And she told me, she said, Kendra, one of these days, your psychiatrist, she would use his name, is going to say, I can't be your doctor anymore. I want to be with you. I want to be with you so bad.
Yo, what? Her friend said that he's gonna say that? What?
I can't be your doctor. I'll see you in 2 years. So my best friend, who's a doctor, she picks up on stuff like that. So even she knew that our relationship was crossing boundaries.
Oh my God. Her friend is giving her copium. That's awesome.
And getting weird. But that was like, that became my dream, was for my psychiatrist, I almost use his name too.
Have you guys ever had that happen to you? I think I've had this happen to me like once or twice, where I find myself in a predicament, and then I'm like, I'll like ask somebody else, and then someone else will say this, but then I'll ask a third party on something, and then that third party has the other opinion, and then I'm like, wait, I think that third party was right. Like, I have like one friend that isn't afraid to tell me what they're thinking, so I'll just literally like call her, and she's like not afraid to like say it, whether it's like the most insane thing I've ever heard, she'll just say it, and I'm like, thank you. Just zero filter. And then I'm like, that's what I needed to hear. Because then I'll have another friend that's like, no, that's actually okay. But then once I hear like the no filter version, I'm like, that was what I needed to hear. You know? So I feel like this is like the filtered friend here in this situation.
To do that. And I told him about Brianna saying that, my best friend, who's the emergency medical doc. I told him that she would tell me that, and he just would be silent. He didn't disagree, but he didn't agree. You know, and that was, weaponized neutrality was his favorite game to play, right? He didn't disagree with Brianna telling me that my
weaponized neutrality. Weaponized neutrality. I'm learning things here.
For me. But
that's just a healthy thing to tell your friend. Yeah.
He also
it's just not a healthy thing to tell your friend, yeah.
And say that's inappropriate. Let's change the subject. It was also
so
around this.
In this video, I did see the comments, in this one in particular, on point. People were telling her she was talking therapy speak.
Time that I asked.
Good God, people.
January 2023. At this point.
Good God, people go to therapy and love using their newly learned terminology. Yeah.
January 2023. At this point, I was full
more
blown
like therapy
slopped with
yeah.
my psychiatrist, and my therapist wasn't helping me. My psychiatrist wasn't helping me. He was.
Listen. I'm actually gaslighting chat. Yeah, this is another thing. I'm not smart enough to talk about therapy at all. Like, in fact, I'll go so far to say is I know nothing about it. I already said this earlier in the stream. I've never been. I only know about it through friends that have been, so I tend to ask questions when the subject comes up if it's appropriate to ask. That's the only way I know about it, or sometimes friends will, in conversation, be like, oh, my therapist said da-da-da-da-da. And then it'll be like a conversation, right? And I think therapy is like to each their own. It's like everyone has their own experience in it. I think it's important if you're someone that feels like you need to go. I think it can help a lot of people. It's certainly not for everybody. So I think it's crazy that, you know, there's also people out there that are like, excuse me, therapy is for everybody. You just don't realize. It's like, I don't know. It's like akin to being like, yeah, everyone needs a psychiatrist, or like, yeah, everyone. It's like a blanket statement to be like, everyone needs blank. It's like, maybe that's just you.
He was feeding it. And then I got a boyfriend. And at first my psychiatrist wasn't really that keen, but then my psychiatrist realized that my boyfriend was a lot like my psychiatrist.
Oh no. This might be the only part that I have a little bit of insight on. Can I spoil it? Can I spoil this? Maybe I'll hold off on the spoil. I think I read something on Twitter about this part of it. I think I did.
January 2023, at this point I was full blown really that keen, but then...
Is this the part of it where she admits that the like boyfriend or that other party was ChatGPT? Is this that? Is that what this is?
My psychiatrist realized that my boyfriend was a lot like my psychiatrist. And then I started talking to my psychiatrist about my sex life, about tracking my cycle, using the fertility awareness method.
The fertility awareness method?
My psychiatrist loved it. He did never say, this isn't an
What is that?
Awareness method.
I have never heard those words next to one another in my life. Is it because I'm not a woman? Is that like girly talk right there? Am I a man?
I need to address...
Am I a man not understanding girly talk here? What's going on?
I need to address...
Wait.
January 2020, using the fertility awareness method.
What's that?
And my psychiatrist loved it. He didn't never say, this isn't inappropriate to your care. Let's pivot.
Keeping track of your cycles and track your cycle and only have sex when it's most unlikely you'll get pregnant. Okay.
Oh, he just let me talk and talk and talk about my sex life.
No clue what she's on about.
I didn't get too deep, but about a year and a half.
I don't know, guy.
And I would send my psychiatrist these emails just about how much I liked him.
Yo! Hold up. Bro, she has breached privacy way too many times, and she just admits to it. She's like, I sent him an email, tell him I fucking loved him. I also sent him pictures that were sexual in her by her own way here. Like, huh? This is like, you know what's interesting? When we're online, we see a lot of stories like this where it's like a dude doing this to a girl and being like, why doesn't this girl like me? I showed her photos of me. I tried emailing her after she told me she didn't want to talk. Why doesn't she like me? You know, it's like really interesting seeing the like other way around on this. It is, and again, it's just like a mental spiral, I think.
I was so grateful for him and put in a bunch of heart emojis. And this is really when he should have transferred my care, but you know, he waited. He liked what I gave him too much. And so
women can be creeps too. #feminism. Let's go. True.
Even though my boyfriend did not meet my needs, my psychiatrist and my therapist both were like, you have to stay with him. There's nothing wrong with him not meeting your needs. I'm like, okay. And my psychiatrist was like, he's perfect, don't get wrong with him. And what was perfect about him was he wasn't meeting my needs. So I was still coming to my psychiatrist looking for emotional validation, which he would drip to me slowly.
I wonder why he would drip. That sounds wrong. That sounds wrong coming out of my mouth. That sounds bad coming out of my mouth. But I wonder why he would like lead you on by your own logic here. It's maybe precisely because you internalize those things. It's all in her head. Oh my.
So my therapist, who I didn't know at this time had bad boundaries, but she did. I went to her because my boyfriend and I, after like more than a year together, we started having...
Jay, can you confirm this for me, please? Is the boyfriend the ChatGPT thing? Please confirm yes or no. I need to get other chatters ahead of this curve here, so we can know. We need to be in the know.
Issues in the bedroom.
Or is that a separate thing?
And so I went to my therapist and she asked me, "What does your psychiatrist think about this?" And I said, "I don't know. I haven't talked to my psychiatrist about this stuff because I have a crush on my psychiatrist and I don't want to tell him this intimate of stuff." And
I think that's a different thing. Boyfriend's real, but she also talks to chatbots. Okay, that's a different thing. Boyfriend is real. Okay, boyfriend real confirmed.
Because I want a male's perspective. So at my next appointment with my psychiatrist, I told him, I said, "Today we're going to talk about my intimate life." And he said, "Oh." I said, "Yes." My psychologist, my therapist.
Dog.
No. I said, "Yes."
Dog. He goes, "Oh," in shock. And she goes, "Ah, yes, we're talking about it." Don't you think if somebody is like, "Oh," don't you think that's like a bad reaction? Right? You'd be like, "Oh, is that not okay?" Like, if you're going to talk about this, don't you want to like ask for consent? Jesus Christ.
My psychologist, my therapist, asked what your opinion on it was. And I told her that I don't talk to you about this intimate stuff because I have a crush on you. And he looked down and smiled so big in that moment. He smiled so big. And I loved it. It's so gross thinking about it. And then I proceeded to give him 30 minutes of non-stop content about my intimate life with my boyfriend.
Huh? Huh? Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. What did you do? What did you do?
Non-stop content about my intimate life with my boyfriend.
Yo! Hold up, girly pop. No. No. Hold up. Oh, man. Oh, no.
And I actually recorded the whole thing because I was so excited about it. But now it makes me sick. I can't even listen to the recording. I've tried to start, but it's gross. Any ethical psychiatrist would have stopped me and said, "Kendra, let's talk about your meds. Let's talk about your care." At this point, my meds were stable. And I was still seeing him every month.
Okay, I'm gonna say something right now. She has egged him on in this like situation she's made up in her head, but also, yeah, how hasn't he ended this? That's what I've been wondering. Like all these videos later, how has he not ended this? You know, like if she's giving weird vibes, being like, "Here's my photos," but how has he not ended this with like? How has he not been like, "Look, we're not like compatible for this type of situation. Like, we gotta cut it." I think he was just uncomfortable. Yeah.
I need to address 3 things. 1, people are asking me what my mental health diagnosis is. I do not have BPD. I do not have psychosis. I have ADHD. And I was experiencing extreme limerence with my psychiatrist.
Yeah, no kidding. No fucking kidding, dog. Was she admitting to it here?
Limerence is a normal thing to happen to anyone who is experiencing hot and cold behavior from someone. And it happens more often in people with ADHD because we have dopamine dysregulation and rejection sensitive dysphoria. And guess what? My psychiatrist knew that and used it to his advantage.
But this part that she's saying right here, this is valid.
And
like
experiencing hot and cold behavior from someone. And it happens more often in people with ADHD because we have dopamine dysregulation and rejection sensitive dysphoria. And guess what? I need to
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, I hate desktop TikTok. It is the most busted thing ever.
I need to address behavior from someone. A normal thing to experiencing extreme.
Yeah.
And my psychiatrist is more often in people with ADHD.
ADHD. Yeah, that's a real thing. Wild stream tonight. Thanks, Blender. Appreciate you hanging around. Next stream, I'll let you know right now. I think next stream is still the same projected day that I had in mind. The 18th evening. I have a shoot in the evening that day. I think it goes to like 7 or something, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even 8. I know I have an evening shoot that day. So after that shoot, I will stream on the 18th. Which is another 4 days out. And possibly, if I get enough work done tomorrow... If I get enough work done tomorrow, I will stream tomorrow night, but probably not. I need to get my work done tomorrow. I need to write this down real quick. Sorry, hold up. All right, there we go. We're good. All right, yeah, have a good one, Blender. Thanks for hanging tonight.
Because we have dopamine dysregulation and rejection sensitive dysphoria.
Yeah, this part's
and
true.
And guess what? My psychiatrist knew that and used it to his advantage.
How?
2,
What did he do?
I accidentally said my psychiatrist's first name in one of my videos. If you clocked it, good for you. I do not owe him anonymity. However, this is not about doxing my psychiatrist. This is about...
Yeah, that's a little crazy. As crazy as this situation is, no matter the circumstance of the crazy fucking thing you see online, you should never dox somebody. I don't care what they've done or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Doxing is just a big hardline no. You should never do that to anybody ever. That's a fear that every creator has, there, including but not limited to myself. It is a scary thing.
Me sharing my story, so
I think you do owe him anonymity. Yeah. Yeah. Anonymity. I do not owe him anonymity. Wait, did she say that?
Anonymity in one of my videos. If you clocked it, good
Did I
for
miss
you.
it?
I do not owe him anonymity.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, you do, dog. I think you do owe him anonymity, just like Biologic said. I do not owe him anonymity.
However, this is not about doxing my psychiatrist. This is about me sharing my story so other people can view predatory behavior in people in power. Okay? If anyone doxes my psychiatrist with his last name or city that he works in or clinic that he works in, your comment will be immediately deleted and you will be blocked. This is
I cannot believe her psychiatrist got doxed and she said his first name.
About protecting other victims, not doxing my psychiatrist. If you do some investigative work and you want to DM me about it, I'm open to that. Okay? 3. I need to take a moment. Moment taken. It is so incredibly disturbing to me. The amount of people that are predator protectors in my comments. That are victim protectors, especially the mental health practitioners in my comments using therapy speak to say that this situation that I was in was my fault was delusional. Check yourself. You're giving me more ammunition to
Yeah, there was probably a lot of fucking weirdos in your comments for sure, and it's probably some of the weirdos that doxed your therapist, but also, like, dog, come on. Admit some fault at some point, please. Holy shit.
Welcome back to another installment of I Was in... Hi, I need to say something
dude,
really
desktop
important.
TikTok is so busted.
Welcome back to another installment of I Was in Love with My Psychiatrist and He Kept Me Anyway, Part 8. You all did some nasty work last night, and I had to turn off comments. People started posting my psychiatrist's first and last name, his picture in the comments. That was a jump scare. So, yeah, a few bad actors who wanted to be super sleuths got the privilege of commenting, mostly hate, let's be real, taken away for everyone. So at this point in the story, there are two main players. My psychiatrist, who's my age, who crossed major ethical boundaries.
Cross ethical
and my
boundaries.
therapist, who is a 75-year-old.
And it wasn't you. You didn't cross ethical boundaries when you showed him these, you know, this content.
With a PhD.
You didn't do it, no.
Neither of these people at this point in the story I knew were crossing boundaries. I thought that everything was hunky-dory and that I was just in love with my psychiatrist and it was totally normal. Little did I know he was manufacturing everything so I could fall in love with him. Because it was on him to set the professional boundary and not let attention build every session.
Okay, chat, I'm gonna say something right now. Earlier in the stream, I said we might get over to this. I'm just gonna be completely honest. We're not gonna get to this video today. It's a very interesting video, and I want to get to it. So we might have to get to it in the next stream. But goddamn, I wanted to watch this video. She's so good.
Because I just have to get that energy out of me. And I was like, okay. And yeah, he just felt compelled to tell me, and I did not understand why. Now I do. So he told me about how he's a predator, right? Another predator in the mental health industry. Shocker.
What?
So then...
Wait, what?
Right? About how he's a predator. Felt compelled to tell me, and I did not understand why.
What is this update?
So he told me about how he's a predator, right? Another predator in the mental health industry. Shocker. So then at my next appointment with my psychiatrist, keep in mind, it had been 6 weeks of nonstop fun for this man. He got to use my crush confession and 30 minutes of content.
Of content.
For whatever he wanted to use it for, right? And if my psychiatrist was good at anything, it was being professional and acting professional and technically not crossing any lines. And he thought that he was so good at it, because he was good at it. But that doesn't mean he wasn't doing it. And so...
Wait, what?
I told him, I said, yeah, Bo and I broke up.
Wait, what? Am I reading this right? Did she just say he is doing his job and he's being professional and he's not crossing lines, but she is? Is she like admitting to fault here? What's going on? Is she actually saying something?
He had known about this other guy, my psychiatrist. I had mentioned him.
But then she's saying he also is saying he's a predator?
And I told him that this new guy and I went on a date and we went on a hike. And I literally had no idea at this
point. At what point is this defamation or libel? Not sure which one, but to call him a predator, especially after he got doxxed with her info, yeah.
I'll say it again. That my psychiatrist was predatory towards me. I almost said his first name again. I'm going to do my best to not. So I went to my psychiatrist and I told him this story about this man that I went on a date with, who's a therapist, is relieving himself before appointments and talking about his client's panties and doing all of these other extremely inappropriate things, like visiting her at work. And this man, my psychiatrist, looked like he had seen a ghost and like he was gonna vomit. because he prided himself on being an extremely professional and buttoned up person. But here I was holding a mirror to him with exactly what he was doing, but a bumbling idiot.
She's trying to date a predator therapist. I think that's what I was just gathering from this, because I thought, I need chatters to help me out on this. So, from my understanding, I thought she was just calling him a predator, but it's sounding like I guess I'm lost in the sauce now.
And yeah, Bo and I broke up. He had known about this other guy, my psychiatrist. I had mentioned him. And I told him that this new guy and I went on a date and we went on a hike. And I literally had no idea at this point, I'll say it again, that my psychiatrist was predatory towards me. I almost said his first name again. I'm going to do my
Oh,
best
she told him that. Okay.
So I went to my psychiatrist and I told him this story about this man that I went on a date with, who's a therapist, is relieving himself before appointments and talking about his clients' panties and doing all of these other extremely inappropriate things, like visiting her at work. And this man, my psychiatrist, looked like he had seen a ghost and like he was gonna vomit, because he prided himself on being an extremely professional and
Oh my god, chat. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have 19 videos to crawl through still. Let's pick this up in the next stream. I can feel my brain turning off a little bit. And I can feel it too because I stopped commenting less. I can feel my comments getting less and less, and I don't want that to happen. This is quite the situation here, if you know what I'm saying. Let's pick this up in the next stream, shall we? Let's pick it up. I've had enough of her. I know. I feel like I need I don't drink and or smoke. But if I did one of those things, if that was a regular part of my life, I would have hit it. I would have hit the vape, or I would have taken the drink of beer or whatever by now. If I engaged with either of those things, because I've had enough. I would have taken myself to a bar after this, because goddamn. Oh my god. We are through the ropes. We're in the thick of it. Thanks for hanging. Appreciate everyone hanging. Maybe we'll, if we're feeling up to it, catch it in the next stream. Take a shot every time she does something insane. I'd be on the floor. It'd be 2 videos later, and you chatters would catch me like this. I'd be trying to stream from down here and oh. It would be the most crazy thing. Ugh. She wore me out. God damn. Here, I thought I was overstimulated from hanging out with friends. God damn. Chat, I did this stream. I'll be honest. I literally, had a plan that didn't kind of, happen. Really. And that's what led me to streaming tonight. Because I've been catching up with friends lately. Just been trying to see what's up. Everybody in my life, while I'm also busy at work, I'm like, hey, remember me? Hi. And then I've been hanging out with friends, and yeah, I had a plan that didn't quite go to plan today, so I streamed. Made me feel a lot better. So thank you for hanging. Means a lot. I was kind of bummed about it, but now I feel better. Mr. Popular is right. I'm catching up with some childhood friends here on Saturday, I think. Sunday? What day is it? Tuesday next week. I'm catching up with some childhood friends. I'm fucking excited. But all right, that's it for me. Love you all. If you're new here, you made it to the end, hit that subscribe button, because the subscribe button will make you a much richer chatter. If you watch this stream, I told you how to get rich, and believe most women, most. It's a good message to end on. There is a note in this stream, chatters can confirm, how to get richer. I gave the formula. I told you all what to do. A couple people in here are already going to get making their TikToks. They told me they're going to download TikTok, they're going to become a rich TikTok, and they're going to retire. I gave the secret out. The cat's out of the bag. You just have to watch the stream to get the cat. All right? That's it. That is it. Adios. I need an outro. If there's any chatters, anybody that watches this to the end, I need a fucking outro. I need like a good like outro song. Like, you know those Sam I watch on Twitch has a good one. There's so many other chatters that are streamers that have a good one. Hassan has a decent one. Ludwig, I think, was the other one. Not Ludwig. Who is it? Anyhow, you get what I'm saying. I need an outro song. One will come one day. Maybe this will be my outro song right here. Just this. Wait, where is it? Just dun 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 dun. All right, that's it. Love you all. Bye.